The meeting of the Board of Ellis County Commissioners will now come to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Bobby, if you could call the roll.
Commissioner Joe LaRue.
Here.
Chair Butch Schleier.
Here.
Commissioner Neil Younger.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. No changes to the order of business tonight. We will have one executive session at the end of the meeting. Prior minutes. Commissioners, did you have a chance to review minutes?
Yes, everything looked good.
Okay. Minutes stand as submitted. Consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, items A through G.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. Any issues from persons not on the order of business? Looks good. Okay. The new fire engine and SCBA demo. Darren?
Good evening, Commissioners. Darren Myers, County Fire Chief. Before tonight, well, not before you yet, as soon as we step outside, is our new Freightliner chassis 2022 fire engine stationed here at Hayes. As the Commission is aware, last January we placed the order after, well, actually during the process of the pump failing on the other truck. It was supposed to be delivered in May, but as the world is today, it was delayed just a little bit. Partially was due to a storm that moved through that location up there, but I have a couple of the firefighters from Company 5. They brought the truck over so you can go out and see what it's like out there. And then the Commission also approved late last year the purchase of new self-contained breathing apparatus for the entire county. And those arrived within the last couple months and last month. So we're in the process of Rusty Lindsay, he's out in the audience. He's doing all the training for the firefighters for the truck. And then Lyle and I did all the training for the 95 firefighters throughout the county and just put those in service last week. So we've brought Public Works equipment out here before in the past for the Commission to view, and figured this time we'd bring a fire truck and be something a little different. And they got it outside, and we'll run up there real quick and take a look at it.
Okay. Commissioners, we'll go out to the parking lot and see what's going on there.
Sure.
Everybody can go if you want.
It's hot outside.
Do you think show and tell is great when you do to bring your car to work?
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead. All the behaviors.
Where you guys come out and pick the sharks and I'll start checking.
looked at it, I did the Clark Griswold where you, done.
I like that.
It's like, yeah, I'm starting to melt.
Great Grand Canyon, let's go.
Exactly, we did. Everybody go.
Well, I even
Oh,
offered.
my. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Because that's kind of really what I thought of when I stood there. I was like, I just really did a Clark Griswold right there. I'm such a lean, when it comes to heat. I just don't do well. I was in
The 1,000-gallon tank.
Colorado this last weekend, this last couple days, and the high was 65. It's beautiful. Normally I freeze, but it's 103 back here.
Well, Darren, that's quite a fire engine.
It is.
I do appreciate the commission's support to help the fire district replace their equipment. It's, half the part is providing nice equipment for the firefighters. The other half is getting the firefighters there, so it's a delicate balance to be able to afford to buy them nice equipment, but also having the volunteers there to maintain it and keep it. So
Yep.
I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Okay. The next agenda item is new hires and promotions. Janet?
Good afternoon. I'm Janet Schmidt. I'm the HR generalist here at Ellis County, and we have some promotions to go through and some new hires. Our first promotion is Justin Craig. Would you like to come up here, Justin? As you know, that he was the interim environmental service director, and he was promoted to the director. You want to say anything?
Justin Craig, Environmental Services Director. Once again, just want to thank you for the opportunity. It's been an exciting challenge and loving almost every minute of it. So,
That's good.
Good, thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
And then thanks to the commission, we have the new position, truck driver 2, and we had 3 of our employees who qualified for that. They're not present today, I think, to do the heat or something. Jason Gershner, Dennis Johnson, and Jacob Burns were all promoted to that position. And I'm sure there's other ones who are looking forward to getting some of that qualifications under their belt so that they can move towards that too. Lisa, would you want to do the next one?
Lisa Ree, County Appraiser. We promoted Jancy Leonard from the office appraiser to administrative assistant. We've had retirements, and she's been able to fill that void for us. She started last year in May and is doing a bang-up job for us. Couldn't be happier.
And that's all of our promotions. New hires. Lisa, did you want to stay up here?
Commissioners, this is Brock Davis. He just started with us last week as a field appraiser. With our retirements, we had openings, and he's graciously decided to work for us, and we've had him hit the ground running. He's been out in the field working already for us.
Okay.
Good, welcome aboard.
Well, congratulations.
Okay, guess what? You're back on the list here. Justin's going to introduce his assistant.
good evening, Commissioners. Justin Craig, Environmental Services Director. Tonight we have Brady Weigel. He started with us on June 20th as the Environmental Services Assistant Director. It's been working out great. It's kind of dove in, kind of getting touching base on every little thing we do out there. So I think it's been an eye-opening experience, but
There's a lot to learn.
I'll bet there is, yeah.
I'm Brady Weigel. Thanks for the opportunity, and as a public servant for the County of Ellis, I hope to kind of make our department an outstanding department, not only that for that, but for our Ellis County. So kind of proud to be here, and thank you.
Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I thought I was going to do American Idol, but I guess.
If you guys want to, we can get it.
In a G minor.
Okay, the next one I have that is from the sheriff's office. I thought Scott was going to be here, but I don't see him. Jocelyn, would you like to come up? We had 2 new hires. They're both jailers. This is Jocelyn. You want to pronounce your last name so I don't get it right?
Antonellis.
Ornalis. And she's working in the jail. She started 5/23. And then the other one is Juan, or they call him Johnny Collajo, right? And he started the day after she did, so.
Great.
That takes care of our sheriff's department. Thank you for coming down, and you want to say something?
Thank you.
I'm just grateful for the opportunity and thank you for everything, basically. So, yeah,
Yeah, happy to have you.
thank you.
And then we have hired one legal assistant. We still have an opening for one more, and she was unable to attend due to a class that she had to attend. It's Annalise Claude. And next up, Danita's got a lot.
Good evening, Danita Schrader, Ellis County EMS Director. I thought it'd be fun since I knew mine probably weren't going to make it in tonight since they're from out of town, so I gave you pictures so you could take a look at their faces. We have 2 full-time employees, both Savannah Reset and Ashley Miller came to us from Larned area. They both did their paramedic field internship with us, and we were able to talk them into coming in and helping us out full-time. They both got their paramedic certification in May. Savannah is on A shift with Captain Kevin Haynes, and Ashley is on B shift with Captain Ellie Durr. Tyler Reeves comes from the Great Bend area. He is a registered nurse. He flies with Eagle Med, and on his days off, he's going to come in and help us. He recently completed his RN to paramedic bridge, and he came in and rode with us as well, and he liked the service and wanted to come help us out. And then Stephanie Holmes, she's recently certified EMT. She's from the Ellsworth area, and she's going to be helping us out on her days off as well. Both Tyler and Stephanie are part-time. So I hope you get a chance to meet them while they're not on the job, and they'll do great things for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we had a new hire today, Keith Deckent. He is facilities maintenance technician, so Greg will be full staff now, and he can kind of take a breather. So that's all our new hires. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. Okay, our next agenda item is the 2023 WIC agreement. Kim?
Good evening, Commission. Kim Real, Ellis County Health Department Director. Tonight before you, you will have the 2023 WIC agreement with our host county, which is Osborne. We get our WIC funds from them to continue to provide WIC services for the clients that we have here in Ellis County. This is an agreement that has been long-standing in Ellis County, and I'm asking for a signature tonight. Do you have any questions?
Do you know how much your WIC grant's going to be at this point?
Roughly $114,000,
Okay.
which is a little bit of an increase over last year due to inflation.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Gentlemen, you have any questions for Kim?
Just comment, keep up the good work you're doing, outstanding.
Thank you.
Joe?
Yeah. No comment about the WIC thing, just to echo what Neil said. I think virtually every week we get an email or you show up at a meeting and you've landed yet another grant, so that's fantastic.
Oh, we're just getting started, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, is there a motion?
Yep. I'll move to approve the agreement with Osborne County for the purpose of fulfilling the requirements of the WIC program.
And I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
I'll stay to answer any questions for the remodel.
Questions for the remodel? I have none.
It's
Yeah, she's just stated that she would stay up there for the next topic.
What's that?
She said, Kim just said she would stay up there for the next topic if you
Right.
had any questions.
Right. Yeah. The Health Department remodel is the next topic.
You want questions or comments? I could tell when I met up with you that you had your spots all picked out, so very good again. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
So,
I guess basically just to go over just to make sure there's any clarification, and I did get an email late this afternoon, since we've been down here before the meeting. But the proposal to you tonight was an RFP that was created to remodel the front waiting room and reception area of the health office, primarily based on the idea of a grant that Kim had applied for and was approved. They didn't approve the full amount, but that's why this RFP was designed to have the rooftop units, the HVAC eliminated as an ad alternate. Kim was successful in getting the grant of $130,000, which will pay for about 67% of the project with the contingencies. And basically, it was Kim working a lot with the state to find the right wording to make sure that we had isolation areas and not at the exam room, but the COVID tracing room and all that isolated in there, so that way the wording was fine to get the grant. So she did a great job there. We did put the RFP out. It was on the website for a couple weeks, and we invited any contractors that were interested to attend a walkthrough at the building. We had buildings and ground staff, IT, health staff, and myself there to answer any questions. We did receive one bid back from commercial builders for the project, which is what is before you tonight. A discussion I'd like to have is, as I stated a little bit ago, the HVAC was left out as an ad alternate because that was not approved as part of the grant that applied for the $130,000. However, with the state's new fiscal year, and as soon as Kim has everything collected, we'll submit for another grant to help reimburse the HVAC. But the email that I got later this afternoon, which I mentioned to you each when I visited with you, is the vendor that Commercial Builders is working through to order the rooftop units is expecting a 12% price increase for those units. And I did the math, I wrote it somewhere. If we waited to do the project until the grant got here, or if we used the ARPA funds like we were originally going to do later in the year, we would see about a $3,400 increase. I know that's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but for the taxpayers, it's a significant chunk of money that if we're knowing we're going to do the project anyways, it'd almost be worthwhile approving the PO tonight for that amount that's in the packet of $28,260. Do a separate PO for that, and then we can go ahead and pay for that. And then if the grant does get approved through KDHE, they would send us the reimbursement and it would offset the expense. If not, we still have the ARPA funds, which we were originally planning on paying for this project anyway. But if the commission would approve the POs tonight, it's still about a 12 to 14 week lead time. So if they could order them right away, they could have that part of the project done as well and be in and out as one complete project instead of coming back later this year or the first of next year. One piece of that $130,000 grant is that project has to be done by the end of November, which, as you can see in your timetable here, they did adhere to that.
it'll be here quick.
Yeah, well. So I know that's a lot going over the entire project, but I think Kim's done a great job in securing the $130,000 grant. She's looking at, there's probably about another $75,000 for a couple other projects she's looking at, but hopefully we can get the other $30,000 as part of the next grant to pay for that piece of it as well.
Okay. Commissioners, in regards to the HVAC, if we can save $3,500, I believe we should do it. It's not, like you said, it's not a big money in the overall scheme, but that's pretty good pocket money. So we should try to save what we can save anytime we're aware of this situation. Do you have any more discussion regarding this?
I definitely would support that.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to buy the piece of equipment either way, so we may as well do it at the lower price.
Okay. With that, I will move to approve purchase order number 7667 and purchase order 7669 to Commercial Builders to complete a partial remodel of the Ellis County Health Department.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Okay, the next agenda item is our Public Works Service truck.
Once again, Darren Myers, the county administrator. Brendan had asked we put this on the agenda today, but he is on vacation, so didn't want to have him cancel his vacation to present this to the commission. But as part of our fleet service out at the Public Works building, they have located a truck down at a shop called Master Truck Tech and Equipment in Wichita, who orders chassis and then puts on different styles of beds for the vehicles. Is based off of a discussion that the executive team has had on how to pay for the upfitting of these vehicles. And what I mean by upfitting, that's basically adding like the back end of a police car, the cage, the mounts, the lights, the sirens. Same thing for the fire and EMS, but with for this truck, it's basically putting a box on the back of it so that the way the mechanics can go around the county to service vehicles, service equipment that are out. And that dealer down in Wichita, MasterTech, specializes that. So they have the chassis on the ground and they order the chassis so that way they can sell their bodies. But the upfitting costs will be paid for out of the Public Works Fund 16, their capital equipment reserve. So the lease of the truck is being paid for out of the lease, but we're paying upfront for the box and the installation of that. So before you tonight is that third PO. If the commission would want to move forward, we need that PO approved so that way we can get that ordered and get their service truck available. I think there's a lot of discussion in there as to why they needed it, and I can do my best to answer any questions on that piece of it as well.
Well, I really don't have any questions regarding this. The chassis without the rest of the truck isn't very useful to us, so we need to do what we need to do here. Commissioner Joe, do you have any questions or concerns?
Other than wanting a complete truck like you, no.
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 Okay. Commissioner Neal?
I have no problem with that. That we need it. It's what takes care of our people out in the field instead of dragging them back. If we can get them going, that's good. And I'd appreciate possibly seeing this one out on the lot too sometime. Would be nice.
Shouldn't take 16 or 14 months to be here, though.
That's all right.
That's okay.
We'll be here.
I can let Brendan know, though.
Okay, is there a motion for this?
Sure. I'll move to approve purchase order number 7668 for the purchase and installation of a mechanic service body for Public Works.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Then we have the Public Workshop RFP options. Darren?
Well, the last topic here is since we've now purchased the land up north for a new public works facility, it's time to start the design phase of the project, as well as talking about the bid and construction part of the project. With the commission, or the county and the commission going through several years of new products or new buildings to include this building, the remodel of the courthouse, the law enforcement center, and the new buildings out at the solid waste, as well as the fire and EMS building. There's been many discussions about what should have been, what could have been, what are we still fixing that wasn't taken care of in the original project. And part of that's due to limited funds, of course. You try to do the best for the amount of funds that you have available. But with the new building, just begs for the discussion as if we would like to have a project manager as part of the overall process. I think a project manager position would be good. However, when you add a project manager to the position, it increases the cost significantly. And to do it right, you would need a project manager that needs to be at the start of the process. So that way he can help with the design, and then go through the bid process and then manage the construction piece of it as well. However, that, like I say, it's a significant cost. And the difference between the previous buildings and this one is this is a brand-new building on a brand-new site, which somewhat eases the load, and it's not as many change orders and everything if you do it right from the very beginning. So I thought I'd just ask the commission if you had any thoughts on that, and if you just wanted to follow the process of the design, bid, build, whereas we would put an RFP out, gain responses from architectural firms to design the building, and which would then assist the process of designing it. After completion of that, they would assist with the process of going out to bid, and then the bids would be coming back and presented to the commission to award the construction company. And then the architect would work with the construction and their project manager for their company to finish out the construction of the building. Or you can have a project manager that starts and oversees the whole entire project from start to finish. That would be basically a contractual service agreement that we would have to start off with a whole new RFP to pick somebody out for that as well.
What does our county administrator recommend?
Well, as I spoke to each of you today, not to try to be a conservative, but I think the money would be unnecessary to pay somebody that price. I couldn't tell you what that would be, but I would guess in a year and a half worth of work, you're probably looking at least $50,000 to $100,000 on top of the cost. And I think between the experience that we have on staff, we could manage this project. We have a lot of projects going on now, but the timeline that I foresee this going is if we didn't have a project managers, we would probably have a building designed by the end of the year. We already have a lot of conceptual drawings done from a previous architect, just some basic renderings. So we have a good start, but we could have that designed by the end of the year, go out for bid right at the first of the year, and then who knows where the market's going to be at in 6-7 months from now, but the metal buildings they're usually out, I'm hearing 6 to 9 months, and then the transformers, I've talked to Commissioner Younger about that, depending on what type of transformer. That could be another year out before we get it if we design, or if we need that type. But a lot of the projects we have going on now, I think will be in the past when we get started on that, and I think between myself and Brendan, and I know Commissioner Younger said he would be interested in helping out if need be, I think we could tackle it together as a project and save the county some funds on the overall project.
Commissioner, would you like to make comments on that?
Yeah, like I say, Dad always said don't volunteer, but on this, to save that kind of funding for our taxpayers that could be used elsewhere, I'm game of helping. I know we can, with our staff, the rest of it, we can do that.
Okay.
But like I say, with the transformer, the sooner we get somebody in here, the sooner we can get that, so we know the load, and we can get that all ordered, because they're a year out, if not more. But no, I'm in game if you two will allow me to do that.
Commissioner Joe, comments, concerns?
So just looking it up real quick, assuming you could find one, the average project manager contract rate is $64 an hour. And then if you did it as a percent of the project, if you did it fee-based, the range is anywhere from 5 to 15% of the project based on how large of a project. The larger it is, the lower they'll go on the percentage, because they're still getting a pretty good chunk of change. And so with that, if we could save that chunk of change without sacrificing the quality of the process managing the project, then I would be for that.
Sure.
Because we're talking, on the low end, you said 50,000, but 12 to 18 months at that rate, either way, you're looking at, 100, probably more closer to 100 to 150,000 versus 50 to 100. So that's a significant savings to the county if we can do it.
Well, I think if the county staff is willing to undertake the project, I think you have my blessings to do so too. So
We'll make sure, the process is approved by the commission, so the staff will help the design. It's not a complicated building, it's a shop with an office, and then a separate building for noxious weed, then a separate building for their cold storage, but everything will be sent to the commission. You'll be invited to meetings to provide your input, and then the overall approval of the design, the concept will be brought before the commission before the bid is even released out for, to the public. So
Okay.
it's still within the commission's control to make all those decisions on all that.
Okay, sounds like a plan, Darren.
Yep, I'll,
At this time, are we going to allow our head departments also, like the weed, the other foreman, to have their input in this also for the design of that?
So in previous, we've done quite a bit of work with Ben Moore Architect. He's out of Manhattan, and he's the one that's been working with us on some renderings, all the way actually back, as the commission knows, this has been a multi-year project that's been in the works. So he's given us different design concepts that if we were going to be working at or remodeling the building out on 280th, and he also gave us some price estimates and some conceptual drawings for a new location. So with that, since Bill had left and Brendan's come on, we've had multiple meetings at their higher level within Public Works, but we've also had their parts clerk, shop foreman, and their road and bridge foremans and everybody out there giving input on the design, so that way we can make sure we're fitting everybody's needs, because there's a welder shop, the welder needs to have input, the parts clerk needs to have information on how the storage room needs for all the parts, the shop foreman needs to make sure that we have the right size doors, the widths, the lengths to fit semis, and then the office staff was also involved because there's an office facility up front. And then Noxious Weed was also there because their chemical storage area has to be completely separate. So we are making sure that we collaborate with staff to make sure we get a facility that's going to be good for them long-term.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. Good enough for me? Let's do it.
I will try to work on the RFP in the next couple of weeks and get it released, and hopefully come mid to late August, we'll have the results back for your selection of an architectural firm.
Okay. County Administrator report.
I have nothing this evening.
County Commissioner reports. Commissioner Joe.
I don't have anything.
Commissioner Neal.
God, we're all boring. I met with Mr. James Robin. That's all I've had done, and had a good talk with him, so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I did that too. I forgot.
Well, just echo.
And I have no report. Executive session. Do we have a executive session letter here?
I do, but I didn't fill it out.
Oh, it's for attorney-client privilege? 10 minutes. I'll make a motion, we go into executive session for 10 minutes for attorney-client privilege. Those involved would be the Board of Commissioners, County Administrator Darren, and County Counselor Mr. Jeter.
I'll second it.
Brendan calling you?
I'll also call Brendan on the phone so he can.
Brendan will be called on the phone. Okay, and there's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. That's right. We find it.
Just to make it look better for the live stream.
Okay, what is it?
Make some cardboard people just
You
sit up there.
laughed during the pandemic, there were sports teams that did that.
I see.
Sell that you could buy like a seat to put a cardboard cutout of yourself in it.
Okay, there's no further action, and the meeting will adjourn at 5:57.
Thank you.
So there's still time for you to cook, Bobby.
Thank you much. I just can't wait to get home.